you are taking your religion from, right? And likewise, the hadith of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a man is upon the religion of his friend, so let him look at whom he befriends. So this is not some innovation that we've invented in the 20th or 21st century, but this is actually a prophetic teaching, and it's a principle that the Sahaba and the Salaf understood and took directly from the revealed texts. That's the first thing. So the issue of looking at who you're taking knowledge from, exactly as you said, there are many people appearing. We don't know anything about their background, what they're upon, who they befriend, and sometimes even like you saw the statement from Al-Barbahari, many people, they wait for a very long time, they mix, mingle, lie low, wait for the opportunity when they've got followers and people attached to them, then they will start coming out with what they really want to come out with, right? Even the examples I've given you earlier on, Al-Ma'ribi, for example, I gave that example. He's a person, he's come, he's turned up in Yemen, right? He's acquired some knowledge there, then he's, done a few tapes, cassettes, recorded with Shaykh Albani rahimahullah, and then these get distributed. He's refuted a few things here and there. And then once he's got that acceptance, he's just waiting and lying low for the right time to put out his poison, which is what he started doing after 2001, 2002, Yet before that, he was taken to be a really strong, high-powered student of knowledge and whatever. So a believer is not stung from the same hole twice, like 3 times for some people, And so these principles that we're talking of look at who you're taking your religion from. You should know, who they are, what their history is, what's the history of their da'wah, what they call to, what do they have in terms of clarification. You look at all these things. You ask around. You ask people. There's nothing wrong with this in terms of seeking religion, because this religion, this knowledge, makes up your religion. So just in the same way as, for example, if for marriage, you want to get someone married, you would investigate what is this person like, what's his background, what's his behavior. Who does he mix with? Who's this? Whatever, because you want the best for your son or for your daughter, right? And the same with trade and business. You want to do trade and business with somebody, right? How do you is this person reliable? Is he trustworthy? Who has he done business with before? You're going to do all those things. Why then, when it comes to religion, you think, oh no, everybody and anybody who comes to me with anything, yes, I'll take, opens Tabligh Nisab and opens this with anything. Why are you going to, you don't do that. You want to know who this person is, who his background is, who he's mixing with, who he took knowledge from, who he visits, who he sits with, who he goes and befriends, whatever, till you know exactly what this individual is upon. And this behavior, or this is not, like I said, it's not bid'ah. This is something that the Salaf themselves, used to do. If I can find some narrations, and you can test people in certain ways. It's not totally prohibited. Page 52, by way of example. Here are some narrations judging a man by way of his companionship. First of all, the hadith of the Messenger of Allah, Al-mar'u ala dini khalilihi falyanzur ahadukum man yukhalil. We mentioned that already. A man is upon the religion of his friend. Let him look at whom he befriends. And Ibn Mas'ud, he said, weigh the people, or consider the people by their associates. A Muslim follows a Muslim, and a fajir follows a fajir. A sinful person follows a sinful person. And he also said, indeed, a man only walks with and accompanies the one whom he loves. or the one who is similar to him. And Abu Darda said, from the fiqh, from the understanding of a man, is whom he walks with, whom he visits and enters upon, and whom he sits with. It's from the fiqh of a man to know this. Who shall I sit with and not sit with? Who shall I walk with, not walk with? Who shall I visit, not visit? This is from the fiqh of a man to know this. And Yahya bin Abi Kathir, who said Sulaiman bin Dawood al-Islam, he said, this is Prophet Sulaiman, this is, do not judge upon anyone until you see who does he befriend. And also, Musa bin Uqba as-Suri came to Baghdad. This man came to Baghdad, and so the people went to Imam Ahmad and said, oh, this man here is come to Baghdad. So Imam Ahmad said, Unzuru ala man nazal wa ila man ya'wi. Look at whose house he goes to, see where he goes to, and look at whom he basically stays with. Right? Then you know the reality of what this man is. And I mean, there are many narrations. Man satara anna bid'atah lam tukhfa alayna ulfatah. The one who conceals his innovation from us will not be able to conceal his friendship from us. Al-Awza'i. Many statements. The point being that you can know the reality of what a person is upon by way of his friendship, by way of his allegiances, by way of his attitude and position to those who are already known and established with a history of calling to the Sunnah, and who are known by the ulama, and who have a clear history. There's no dubiosity. Okay, this one, that one, that we know that they are the people of Sunnah Salafiyah in this land and in that land and that, and you know very clearly, right? See how they are towards them. This also is from the way of the Salaf as well, right? What is your position? What is your attitude? What is your statement towards the people of the Sunnah in the land, the well-known, established people of the Sunnah? Right. So to cut a long, answer short, a person has to follow this advice and look at whom they are taking their knowledge from. And anyone who comes new, you should give them time, and see what their reality is. You see many people coming and going. You see these people, this. What's his name? Abu Taymiyyah al-Jilani. Man was a grave worshipper 5-6 years ago in Yemen somewhere. Probably on his early 20s. Now he's ended up in Medina. Now he's out there doing, this is the fitna of social media and YouTube, because it allows everyone to pretend that he's a scholar and that he's, and they throw themselves upon the people. And the people, and they do it by way of, we'll teach you this book, and we'll teach you that book, and we'll teach you this book, we'll give you a course, and you'll learn this, and we'll give you a certificate. And people like those things, right? And then they'll fall for that, and they don't know anything about the background of this individual. What does he even know? So this is the great, like you said, this is the great danger of the modern era, that so many people thrust themselves upon other people, and the average person gets confused. So basically, the short answer is, look at those who have precedence, look at those who the scholars are known to the scholars and have been spoken of favorably by the scholars. Look at their history, look at their dawah, look at, always look at, who is bringing clarity, right? That's why in history, why do you always hear the name of Imam Ahmad? Right? The names of the scholars you hear, they weren't the only scholars. There were thousands and thousands of scholars amongst the Muslims, good scholars. But why do you only hear Imam Ahmad, Imam Malik, Muhammad ibn Sirin, Abu Ubaid al-Qasim bin Sallam? Why do you hear certain names that we always mention, Sufyan al-Thawri? Why do you always hear? Well, because these are the scholars who actually clarified the Sunnah and refuted Bid'ah. Because they're the ones who said, this is the path here, this is the path here, this is the path here. Right? They stood and they clarified what the path is. As a result of which, those who came after, they knew what the path is. That's why their names are always mentioned. That's why we hear Ibn al-Qayyim, Ibn Taymiyyah, right? Because they clarified. That's why their names have been made lofty, because they are constantly mentioned, right? But there are thousands of other scholars, very righteous, God-fearing scholars with knowledge, in hadith, whatever, but they didn't have the effort and the juhud that these scholars had in actually clarifying the sunnah and exposing bid'ah so that the deen of Allah can remain intact. That's why they are remembered and mentioned, right? So in the same way, if you want to know in any place, any location, who is upon the truth, you say, okay, I want to know in this land who's clarifying the misguidance of the Rafida. Let's see your writings and works on Rafida, Sufiya, Takfiris, Ash'aris, whatever. Who are the ones who are clarifying this? Where are these people? Right? You ask these questions so you know who are the people of the Sunnah, not just in claim, but in actual practicality as well. Right? And you see people, unfortunately, they claim to be Salafi, they claim to be on the Sunnah, and never ever do they speak in a single trial or tribulation to support the truth, like Adnan Arur, Al-Ma'rabi, Al-Halabi, Al-Ramadani, Al-Hajuri, totally silent, don't have anything to say. And the first time they find an opportunity, to attack the people who have made those clarifications, they'll find the opportunity to attack, and you don't find any speech from them about anyone else. Right? You see these things and you can see, hang on, there's something not right here. Do you understand? Right? So there's many ways and avenues, but in general, a person should be cautious in rushing to take knowledge from someone who he doesn't really know anything about. And you should stick to people who have a long, the people in this country who have a long history, Abu Talha rahimahullah, Abu Hakim, Abu Khatija, there's Abu Idris, Abdul Ilah, Wais al-Tawil, Hassan al-Somali, and others, they have a history going back to the 90s, right? And their affair is known, and they are known to the scholars, right? So go to them and ask them, what do you know of this person? What do you know of that person? What do you know of this person? And they will advise you, right? But stick to those who are actually well known, in your land, and you will be safe in your religion, inshallah ta'ala. Time is Maghrib?
9:30 is the azan.
Okay, it's 5 minutes. Okay, we'll end there, inshallah. People need to make wudu or anything like that before the prayer. So, alhamdulillah, rabbil alameen, wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.